Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers finished giving out all the rice received in 2014 in Zarqa, Jordan. We take a look at the Chinese New Year celebrations organized by Tzu Chi volunteers in Canada. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Lau. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi's final rice distribution in Jordan of the year of 2014 took place in a small village in Zarqa, northeast of Amman, the capital of Jordan. Now, we not only take you to the final distribution, but also take a look back at some of the highlights of the distribution over the past year.
After a year of hard work, this is the last stop. In 2014, Taiwan's Council of Agriculture and Tzu Chi collaborated to bring 100 tons of rice to Jordan's impoverished residents. The last distribution was held at a small village in Zarqa for 100 Tzu Chi care recipients.
These are the last 2 bags of the 100 tons of rice for 2014.
There is a sense of bittersweetness to this event, which marks the last leg of the volunteers' 9-week journey across Jordan. Sometimes they come across obstacles.
Okay, push, 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 push.
There are currently less than 10 Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan, yet they don't let their age or lack of numbers stand in their way of helping those in need.
That's the last one. The last one.
Once again, a group of Tzu Chi volunteers made up of members from the Lesotho as well as South Africa's Johannesburg and Durban have come together to promote Tzu Chi's missions in Botswana. There, not only did they bring grey uniforms for newly certified local volunteers, but also relief supplies for 12 impoverished families.
For the 3rd time, Tzu Chi volunteers from South Africa's Johannesburg and Durban and Lesotho have come together for the needy of Gaborone, Botswana. In a home in the community of Old Nang Lady, some 60 people have crammed into a room just 13 square meters in size to learn more about Tzu Chi. Outside sit many more waiting for the extra introduction sessions. In the end, 7 local volunteers received their grey uniforms, while 30 more signed up to join future volunteer trainees. Besides promoting Tzu Chi's missions, the visiting volunteers had another important job to do. The senior has not been able to walk for the past 6 months. After getting massaged by the volunteers, she tried hard to get up and walk nearly 50 steps.
Good. Carry on.
As the visiting volunteers care for those in need, they also cherish the opportunity to further their spiritual growth. In the end, their love nurtures both themselves and those around them.
In China's Guangdong province, students of the Taiwan Businessmen of Dongguan School and their parents visited the Tzu Chi Risheng recycling station to try their hands at sorting recyclables. Meanwhile, in Tianjin City, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a community event to remind the public of the need to protect the planet. Besides expressing their determination to safeguard the planet through songs, members of the public are also here to learn more about environmental conservation. At a community event organized by the Tzu Chi volunteers in Tianjin City, many participants are learning for the first time that unused items can be given a second lease on life.
If we recycle these bottles, they can be transformed into blankets and clothes. Look, this is a blanket that Tzu Chi uses during disaster relief.
Touching the eco-friendly blanket and smelling the eco-friendly detergent, participants come to realize that living a greener lifestyle is not that hard.
I think we need to spread the concept of recycling to even more people, so everyone can understand the importance of safeguarding the planet.
Tzu Chi volunteers also held a similar event in Dongguan, Guangdong. Students at the Taiwan Businessmen's Dongguan School and their parents spent a wonderful day at the慈济志工 recycling station, learning of ways to better cherish Mother Earth. Lately, the faith at the Tzu Chi Nehu grounds in Taipei, Taiwan, has come under national attention. The main controversy is that since the land is inside a conservation area, it should not be developed. To help our viewers better understand Tzu Chi's standpoint on the issue of environmental conservation, we have prepared this report.
After getting off at the Dahu Park station of the Taipei MRT and then heading south, the scenic Dahu Park comes into view. Over the last 2 decades, Nehu District has undergone a complete transformation. However, at the Tzu Chi Nehu grounds on Section 5 of Chenggong Road, everything remains the way it was back in 1981. Though designated as a conservation area, the land was turned into a private country club with tennis courts back in 1980. When Tzu Chi purchased the land in 1997, the land was being used as a bus depot. Thus, it was already used illegally for commercial purposes. Cai Mingxun, who moved to the community next door 25 years ago, has documented the history of the area carefully.
It looked pretty much the same as it does now. The only thing different is we cleared up the mess here after we came in. Also, we laid some dirt over the asphalt surface to plant some flowers. With regard to the building, we haven't made any changes to them. They remain steel frame metal sheds. We only renovated the interiors.
When Tzu Chi purchased this lot, it included a hill and the surrounding land. The land is 4.48 hectares in size and is divided into 2 by the hill. The northern plot houses Tzu Chi's recycling station, bookstore, meditation hall, and workshop.
This here on the right is where we do our recycling work, while this side over here is for volunteer activities. So everything has really been kept the way it was since Tzu Chi acquired the land.
The southern plot is used as a farm and still retains the kindergarten that was built back in 1981.
That building there used to be a kindergarten. According to the Conservation Area Act, a conservation area can be used for education, charity, and medical-related purposes. Since a kindergarten is related to education, it was legal to build it.
The hill in the middle also belongs to Tzu Chi and is not abandoned as most people think. 11.4 hectares in area, Master Zhen Yan insisted on purchasing it in the name of environmental protection.
The master was afraid that once we have improved this area, developers would want to come in and end up destroying the hill.
This goes to show that Tzu Chi has and will always keep its promise to protect the environment.
In our next report, we travel to Shenyang City, Liaoning Province, China, to meet restaurant owner Kong Fan Chen to see why he wants to transform the first floor of his restaurant into a vegetarian buffet.
Modern skyscrapers dominate the skyline. An incessant stream of people and vehicles fill the streets. This is Shenyang, the political and economic hub and the largest city of northeastern China. Situated in the busy city center, one restaurant is open for business. Boxes are carried inside by the owner, Kong Fan Chen, who arrives early each morning to assist his staff with chores.
As my involvement in Tzu Chi grew, it was then that I truly realized that we cannot live for ourselves alone. We should help those who are in need or are deserving of it, whenever we have the means and opportunity.
An unassuming owner with a big heart, Kong even helps carry the reporter's equipment upstairs. The vegetarian buffet area on the first floor of his restaurant offers a wide variety of choices and only costs 15 RMB per person. For those over the age of 60, they can even eat here free of charge.
They offer a wide variety of vegetarian options, and the flavors are really to our liking. If you don't believe me, you can try some.
I introduced a vegetarian buffet because I wanted to change people's mindsets about vegetarianism. The end goal isn't about how much money I make. Although I don't profit from the business, I'm nevertheless content with what I'm doing. We should always be willing to do and be happy to bear.
Although the restaurant is making 500 RMB less each day compared to before, seeing his restaurant filled with people enjoying vegetarian food, Kong knows he has made the right decision.
感恩哦！以前没走入慈济里边就不会说感恩，现在说感恩非常好的。好，我继续工作。
Inside the kitchen, chefs are busy working away to get the food out to diners. Since head chef Sun Fudong joined the Tzu Chi family with Kong Fan Chen, not only has he adopted a meatless diet, but he now only serves vegetarian food as well.
This is to save our planet and our environment. We are doing this for the sake of our loved ones, so that they can lead a healthier lifestyle. I'm really confident in my vegetarian cooking now.
Meanwhile, outside, servers are also getting ready by the dining area. Manager of the restaurant, Wang Shechao, is known by his staff as a modest leader. Keeping the master's dharma close to his heart at all times, this is where Wang cultivates his field of blessings.
My biggest transformation is that I'm more sincere now. Before, I smiled and interacted with the customers because I saw it as a part of my job. Now there's an added level of care, like how I care for my family.
With his humble demeanor, Kong Fan Chen leads and inspires his team by example. Putting the master's words into action, love and goodness is prospering in the restaurant day by day.
We have more reports of Chinese New Year celebrations, but this time across Canada. Among those celebrating the Year of Goat are the Tzu Chi volunteers in Vancouver and students from the Tzu Chi academies in Toronto and Surrey.
What's the best way to spend the Lunar New Year when you live overseas?
We have 4 stations, a play area, one where they can make spring couplets, one about bamboo coin banks, and the last is where students learn Tzu Chi songs.
The wide variety of activities helps the students get to know not only Chinese traditions, but also gratitude.
Coming here, the children can learn about the more traditional ways to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Sometimes that is not something we can do for them at home.
This time, volunteers at the Tzu Chi Surrey Academy put their focus on bamboo coin banks, encouraging the children to donate their money to help others in need.
I said to them they need to deposit their love into the coin bank every day. And come next year, I will be expecting filled bamboo coin banks from them.
I want the students to return to the days of doing good deeds every day, always speaking kind words and thinking good thoughts.
The same festive atmosphere was also seen at the Tzu Chi Academy in northern Toronto, where students showcased their talents. The paper cutting and calligraphy activity section were also quite popular with the attendees.
This has been an exciting day to see all the performances and the children having fun learning the Chinese culture and the ceremonies that go along with the Chinese New Year.
今年第一次来这里，用一种很轻松的。
This is our first year. I felt the introduction to the different Chinese traditions was easy to understand. It was a good starting point for both adults and children alike.
Meanwhile, over at the Jingsi Hall in Vancouver, over 100 volunteers gathered to wish their Dharma family a happy Year of the Goat. Volunteers from different districts put on separate performances, moving the audience with their efforts.
在慈济这种办活动，比较属于心灵上的飨宴。
Tzu Chi events are more of a spiritual banquet, and they always inspire the audience. Those that watched the performances today definitely felt they were different from anything they've seen before.
These activities not only help volunteers welcome in the Year of the Goat, but also blessings and wisdom for the year ahead.
Next, we see how Tzu Chi volunteers across the globe organize Lunar New Year celebrations and New Year blessing ceremonies. Here's more.
During the New Year, Chinese extends blessings to each other by giving and receiving red envelopes. In Melbourne, Australia, Tzu Chi volunteers share these traditions with the local residents. This ceremony reminds many people that they are free from natural disasters. Helping to extend their love, many participants adopted bamboo banks to pay their love forward.
Seeing the devotion and unconditional love of the volunteers, I was inspired to join Tzu Chi and participate in its events.
I think time is really passed by. I think we are getting old, but there is a lot of things that we have to do.
Inviting more people to do more good deeds. Tzu Chi volunteers also take good care of people's health. In another country located in the southern hemisphere, New Zealand, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hamilton have invited officials and businesses to take part in this New Year blessing ceremony. Together, everyone prays for a peaceful year ahead, while children sang to share their enthusiasm. Over at the year-end blessing ceremony in the Dominican Republic, many participants bring back bamboo banks to donate their love. Beiro, a local Tzu Chi volunteer, seized the opportunities to participate despite recovering from his recent cataract surgery. Among the 250 participants, 2/3 are local residents and non-Chinese people. In gratitude for their support, they are given Tzu Chi's blessings and wisdom red envelopes. The biggest highlight was nothing more than the joint musical performance by the students from the American schools and students from the Tzu Chi La Romana school.
Es un sueño convertido realidad.
Today's event is very special as we have one of the best private schools, the American School, where most of the students come from upper class, to share this special day with the underprivileged students living inside the corrugated iron house, while their peers living in cozy homes with air conditioning. In addition to the Chinese students, this cross-cultural exchange between students from different backgrounds is very meaningful, as they share this achievement together.
O sea, hay un entrelazamiento.
Here, all is equal and shared without discrimination. At the end, participants flock to adopt bamboo banks to carry on this love.
In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to promote Tzu Chi's Bamboo Coin Bank campaign to not only adults but students as well by visiting local schools to inform the students how they too can practice a good deed a day. After the donations collected, there's a group of volunteers that help sort and count everyone's love.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Medan visit Nanyang Zhihui Modern Indonesian School to promote Tzu Chi's Bamboo Coin Bank.
We can save money to do good deeds and help others who are more in need because there are plenty of people that need our assistance.
This is the first time I have received a bamboo coin bank. It's a great beginning.
The students of the school have long saved their recyclables for Tzu Chi, but this time, some students even donated the proceeds from their school carnival booth to the volunteers as well.
Tzu Chi is here to inspire everyone, including the students, to do good deeds. It's wonderful.
Volunteers in Indonesia have not only spread the Bamboo Coin Bank campaign to schools, but also to local communities, factories, and even governmental offices. After the money has been collected, a group of volunteers mobilized to count them.
We asked what the coins were for, and they said it's to help those in need.
These volunteers were mostly invited by Tina, who serves as a DaAi mother at a local school.
They are all eager to help and willing to give up their time to count these coins. I am amazed that everyone has come together like this to cultivate this field of blessings.
Though machines make the counting job easier, Tzu Chi volunteers still hope to invite others to come help sort the coins, not only to spread the word to more people, but also join in doing good deeds.
As the new year begins, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan celebrated new additions to the family. In Luzhou and Linkou districts, volunteers hosted events to welcome their newly certified counterparts to their ranks. Meanwhile, at the Xizhi Liaison Office, volunteers organized a gathering for community members to learn more about Tzu Chi's missions.
Tzu Chi volunteers of the Xizhi Liaison Office organized a gathering for community members to learn more about Tzu Chi and its missions.
I am determined to walk the path that I have chosen.
Being able to help others is a great thing.
Here in Wugu District, Luzhou, Tzu Chi welcomes 12 newly certified commissioners and Tzu Chens to its ranks. Chen Xiuzhen and her husband, Li Weisheng, celebrated the opportunity to be certified together this year.
His Dharma name is Ji Xiao. Our Dharma names complement each other. They mean to bring hope to people.
Hoping to live up to the responsibilities of their Dharma names, Chen and her husband are determined to change for the better.
When I go to work, she is still asleep, and when I want to go to bed, she stays up to look up stuff on her computer. It's a pity that all this time is wasted.
Now the days ahead will be more fulfilling and rewarding with Tzu Chi in their lives. And in Linkou District, another couple also celebrated their joint certification.
Initially, I was very slack, but now I know to cherish each opportunity to give.
The training seminars in my community have made me realize that if we still harbor afflictions and ignorance in our hearts, then everything that we have learned just goes to waste.
Welcoming new additions to the Tzu Chi family, these newly certified volunteers are ready to uphold Tzu Chi's missions.
With Dharma joy in my heart, I'm willing to walk among the crowd and serve the greater good. I will walk firmly and diligently on the Tzu Chi path. We go to Taiwan's Tainan City at the end of the show, where students at the local DaAi kindergarten try their hands at sorting recyclables at the local recycling station. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.